You can argue this all you like. You failed to give way, you've hit my vehicle, and now you want to stand here and argue about it.
So these two have just been in an accident. And like many people, they both feel that the accident was the other driver's fault. The guy driving the black car reckons the guy in the silver car hit him. So he gets out, starts inspecting the damage to his car. Then he goes over to the silver car and starts taking photos of the damage done to that car.
I was in front of you. No, you weren't. Your lane ends, you must give way to me. You saw my vehicle, which you said you did, and you failed to brake. So you basically allowed the accident to occur.
But hear how the guy in the silver car is talking to the other driver and saying, "Mate, you saw me, you had plenty of time to stop, but you didn't. So it's your fault." What's he mean by that?
Explain to you that you saw my vehicle and you failed to brake as I was coming across. Did you see my indicator there?
And then there's this guy too.
Your indicator was on, yeah. I was hanging back and I could see something was going to happen, so.
This guy's a witness, and the driver of the silver car is desperately hoping that he can somehow give some clarity around what went wrong. Maybe help him to back his claim, because this guy was riding his motorcycle directly behind these two, and he saw the whole thing unfold.
Oh dear.
When the guy on the motorbike turns up, the driver of the silver car gets out. He's got his hands in the air like, "Dude, help me out here. Did you see what happened? Please tell me you saw what happened."
How you going, guys? Sorry? I got it on film.
But unfortunately, the witness, the guy on the motorbike, well, he takes the side of the driver of the black car and even starts giving legal advice. Oh, I hope it's right.
Unfortunately, what's going to happen is because by law, regardless of ethics or whatever, by law, the lane ends, so you have to give way to him. That's how the insurance is going to see it, unfortunately.
So he's giving advice, but he's also prefacing it by saying, "Oh, unfortunately, and regardless of ethics." Remember that part?
Unfortunately, what's going to happen is because by law, regardless of ethics or whatever.
Which kind of makes you think that he too, the motorcycle rider, also believes and thought that this accident could have been avoided, that the guy in the black car could have stopped, but didn't. And because of that, the legal fault now falls onto the driver of the silver car. In other words, dude, I saw what happened, and I saw that the guy in the black car could have stopped. He didn't. And unfortunately, regardless of ethics, yes, he should have stopped, could have stopped. Unfortunately, you're the guy in the wrong here now. Oh, let's have a look.
Oh!
So we're going to come back to this in a moment, but as you can see, these two were at a merge point. The silver car was in front of the black car, pulls across in front of the black car. The driver of the silver car and the witness on the motorcycle, and probably us, all think that, well, the guy in the black car saw the silver car, had plenty of time to stop, could have held back, could have let him in. Almost looks like he started to let him in, then thought, no, actually, I'm not going to let you in, and hits him.
So you basically allowed the accident to occur.
But here's the reality, and as the motorcycle rider clearly said, unfortunately, regardless of ethics, unfortunately, this is the law. Now, rules around merge points are pretty simple, but people often confuse them. As a driving instructor for 6 years, I saw this mistake happen a lot, and still do. Here's the actual rules. What the road rule book says. When two lanes merge into one, and often there's signs saying lane ends, merge left, lane ends, merge right, form one lane, it's clear that two lanes are merging together. You must give way to another vehicle if any portion of that vehicle is ahead of your vehicle. You should indicate that you're merging by using your indicator or hand signal. Remember to keep a safe distance between yourself and the vehicle in front, and take turns to merge if there are long lines of merging traffic. So in this scenario, if your car is ahead of the car beside you, you have right of way, where two lanes become one. Now remember this distinction, because this is the mistake the guy in the silver car is making. He thought he's in a merging lane. He thought he was already in front of the black car, and he's indicating, and he has the right of way, and he's like, yeah, well, I'm ahead of you. You have to slow down and let me across. And in a normal merging lane, this is the law. This is textbook stuff. But the problem is, There's two types of mergers, and this is where people often get confused. The one talked about in the book, where two lanes become one, that's called a zip merge. Who gives way? The vehicle that's behind the car that's in front. If the car on the left is slightly ahead of the car on the right must give way to the car on the left, which is what our mate here thought the scenario was. He thought he was slightly ahead, he has right of way, he pulls in front of the black car has to wait for him. If he was in a zip merge lane, that's exactly what the rules say to do, which is where the guy in the silver car's made the mistake. He's confused this as a zip merge, and it's not. What the guy in the silver car found himself in, and the other type of merge, is what's called a lane merge. Now this is different than a zip merge. This is where one lane just totally ends, and the driver in that lane, the ending lane, has to wait for a break in the traffic. They have to slow down and pull in behind another car, even if they're slightly in front. Like in this scenario, this blue car is in a lane that is ending. He can't just pull in front of the silver car. He literally has to wait for the silver car to go past and then tuck in behind him. Because often in a ending lane merge like this one, the ending lane is going slower than the lane they're about to drive into. Think about on a freeway. The cars are doing 100. You're just entering the freeway. You're possibly doing 60 or 80, building up to the road speed. You're not going to pull in front of a 100km/h driving vehicle while you're doing 60. Your lane's ending, you wait for a break in the traffic, and you merge across. So our mate in the silver car, in this example, wasn't in a zip merge where two lanes just zip into one. He was in a ending lane and wanted to join a lane that continued. And this is no different than just changing lanes on a normal road. If you're driving in a 2-lane road and you're in the left lane, you want to move over to the right-hand lane. You don't have right of way over the guy that's beside you because your car's slightly ahead of his. You can't just pull across. You've got to wait until there's an opportunity to move across. And that's what a lane change merge is. As you can see, the guy in the silver car's lane ends and he wants to change lanes and get into the lane where the black car is. The black car's lane doesn't end as well. It's not two lanes joining into one. It's an ending lane coming over into this existing lane, which is where a lot of people get confused. And that's what's happened in this case. Here's the rules illustrated.
Let's look at merging situation number 1, when one marked lane comes to an end. If it's your lane that's ending, it's just like any other lane change. You must give way to any traffic already in the lane you're moving into. So here, Vehicle A needs to give way to Vehicle B. When the lane is clear, Vehicle A is free to move across.
In other words, if your lane ends, you essentially are changing lanes. And just like changing lanes on any other road, you have to wait till it's clear before you do so.
So here, Vehicle A needs to give way to Vehicle B.
Notice that, even though Vehicle A is slightly ahead of Vehicle B, if this was a zipper lane, Vehicle B should give way to Vehicle A because Vehicle A is slightly ahead of Vehicle B. But this isn't a zipper merge, this is a lane change merge. Vehicle A, he needs to change his car speed down to drop in behind Vehicle B when there's a free opportunity to do so.
When the lane is clear, Vehicle A is free to move across.
On the other hand, a zipper lane, where two lanes become one, works slightly differently, where the car who's slightly ahead has the right of way.
The vehicle in front has right of way.
As we've already seen. So the guy in the silver car thought he was in a zipper lane where both lanes become one, therefore he's slightly ahead of the black car, therefore he has right of way. But no, only his lane ends. The lane that the black car's in is a continuing lane. It's not ending. Traffic from the left lane is hoping to join into it.
Did you see my indicator there?
Your indicator was on, yeah.
I was in front of you.
Which is why the guy in the silver car keeps asking the guy in the black car, dude, did you not see my indicator on? Did you not see that I was in front of you? He wrongfully thinks, well, I was in front of you, I had my indicator on, I had the right of way. But he didn't, because he wasn't in a merge lane. He was in an ending lane. And remember the witness on the motorbike, how he's like, mate, unfortunately, and regardless of ethics...
Unfortunately, what's going to happen is because by law, regardless of ethics or whatever, by law, the lane ends, so you have to give way to him. That's how the insurance is going to see it, unfortunately.
So what did he mean by ethics? And unfortunately...
I was hanging back and I could see something was going to happen, so...
And why is he saying, oh yeah, I was hanging back, I could see something was going to happen? See, when you see an accident, normally it's like, oh my goodness, I didn't expect that. I didn't see that happening. The guy on the motorbike's like, yeah, I could see what was going to happen. I could see that you were coming across the lane. The guy in the black car probably had time to stop, to slow down, to let you in. But he was being a jerk. He didn't need to. He didn't have to. He could have, but he decided not to. And I sort of saw this whole thing unfold, and that's why I've come to give my details to you guys. But unfortunately, regardless of ethics and what should have happened, here's what actually happened, and here's where you stand, the guy in the silver car, here's where you stand legally because of it. He, the guy on the motorbike, also thought this accident could have been avoided, just like the guy in the silver car. Dude, you saw me. You had plenty of time to stop. You could have slowed down and let me in. But you didn't. You caused this accident.
You saw my vehicle, which you said you did, and you failed to brake. So you basically allowed the accident to occur. You did not allow an accident. So you had the opportunity to brake, and you didn't do so. Not until you had already touched me.
So his argument is, mate, you had plenty of time to slow down and let me in. You saw me. You could have let me in. The guy on the motorbike agrees. What do you think? Could have he let him in? Should have he let him in? It looks like the guy in the black car is literally slowing down. He's hitting the brakes like, oh, this guy wants to get in front of me. At this point, he probably could have held back. Had plenty of space to. And it's almost like he second-guessed himself, took his foot off the brake and thought, no, blow it. You can wait for me. Personally, I think he had plenty of time. He would have seen him. It looks like he did see him. He's hit the brake lights. It's like, oh, this guy's trying to get across here. Yeah, he saw him. He started slowing down, but then changed his mind. Meh, he's in an ending lane. He's not at a merge lane. I don't have to wait for him. If he hits me, that's on him. It's all his fault. Which is why the motorbike guy's like, you know, technically, regardless of ethics, and unfortunately, yeah, the guy in the black car, he is in the right. You are in the wrong. He could have avoided that.
So you basically allowed the accident to occur.
So now that the guy in the silver car is probably starting to realise, oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, I wasn't at a merge point. My lane did end. Therefore, I should have waited and pulled in behind him. He's now clutching at straws. He's now saying, well, mate, both me and the motorcycle rider could tell that you had plenty of time to let me in. You started to let me in. You could have avoided this accident, but didn't. In other words, you let this accident happen. That's his defence now. How do you reckon they would stand up in court? Even with dashcam evidence, which the guy on the motorbike clearly has.
Regardless of ethics or whatever, by law, the lane ends, so you have to give way to him. That's how the insurance is going to see it, unfortunately.
It's pretty obvious. The guy on the motorbike thinks that the guy in the silver car got a pretty raw deal here. What do you think? And to be honest, would it be fair to say that if you're in this situation, that you would have assumed that the guy in the black car is slowing down to let you cross? I think that that's what the guy in the silver car thought. He literally starts indicating, thinks, oh, I think he's going to slow down and let me over. And so he's literally thinking, oh yeah, cheers mate, starts moving over and then gets hit. That's how it looks to me. He's on the brakes. It's almost like the guy in the silver car would wind his window down and wave. Oh, thanks mate, thanks for letting me in. And to be honest, at this point here, it looks like he's crossed over. He's just about there. So really there is no reason this black car should have hit this silver car. Or the silver car hit the black car, whatever. Either the guy in the black car is totally distracted and oblivious to the silver car, which I doubt because he is braking, or he's just pig-headed, thinking, nah, blow you. You don't have the right of way. I do. If you hit me, that's on you. This isn't even a side impact. This is like a impact to the back of the silver car. Surely a lawyer, a judge, or a police officer would watch the dashcam footage of this and be like, dude, yeah, okay, we get it. You had right of way, but you didn't hit the car side on. You literally waited until he was just about in your lane. The merge had pretty much almost happened. And then you decided, no, actually, I'm going to hit him. What do you think? Has he got a case here? If anything, I think the guy in the black car slowed down and then sped up. And, like the guy on the motorbike, I agree, regardless of ethics, and unfortunately, the silver car is still in the wrong. Do you think the dashcam footage might have saved him? Do you think a judge or a police officer would have maybe turned some of the blame back to the guy in the black car? Should the guy in the black car be 100% responsible for this? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments.